So here we take a look at the all-important PM, particulate matter, and I've put that on this slide so that you can remember it. Particulate matter is something that customers are going to want to know about, and how effective is the system at removing certain sizes and what size will it remove and so on. So H13 HEPA filters remove down to 1.0 particulate matter, and that's 1 micrometer, as I say, or 1 millionth of a meter. So it's very, very tiny. And that is a medical grade HEPA filter. H13 is medical grade. HEPA are measured in H rating. So they range from low H figures up to 13 and beyond for very serious laboratory work. But H13 is medical grade, and that is what the NHS would specify. Any healthcare requirement would specify the H13 HEPA filter. So all of our systems include the H13 HEPA filter from new, and the replacement filters are all H13 as well, medical grade filters. So when you order replacement filters, they are all H13. But H11 is the fairly standard, what you will find generally in the marketplace. That's guaranteed to remove 2.5 micrometers, and H13 is guaranteed to stop and remove down to 1.0 micrometers. So it's a big difference, very, very big difference. And as I said there, most purifiers are only H11. And adding into that the UVC to sterilise and kill bacteria, with also the negative ion system that we talked about just now, there is nothing to compare with our specification in the UK or in fact in Europe. And we've looked at all of our competitors' products, and we cannot find at this time a product that incorporates all of the technology and science that the AirX Pro system includes. So AirX Pro at the moment is the only system that can actually stop matter in the air and actually render it harmless in the air. I'm talking about viruses and bacteria. Looking at the display, the all-important part of interest here really is the display, which tells us everything about the system, what's going on with the air and everything else with the system. We use technology that we call ColourView technology, LCD display screen, which changes with the air quality. It's a really, really good system. It's very, very easy to visually see the quality of the air from across the room or across the office without even going anywhere near the machine at all. You don't even need to go close to it to see what's going on. You can see visually the air quality immediately. So if it's green, the air quality is good. Average or fair, then the air and the system will obviously be cleaning it all the time. The system will be displaying a blue colour. And if the air quality is poor, so it has a lot of floating matter in the air which the system will need to clean and reduce, then it will be displayed as red. If we just take a look at the display at the top of the screen, you'll see that it says anion 24 times 10 to the power of 7. An anion is a negative ion, and an ion is an atom. And what our system does continuously is draw in from the room positively charged atoms as it's drawing everything in through the filters. And most of the atoms in rooms, buildings that we are occupying are positively charged. When we exhale, everything that we exhale is positively charged atoms. They have had the energy removed from them, and we could, if we recharge them, then we'll make them negative. So negatively charged atoms are recharged, they're re-energized. So that's a very interesting aspect of what the machine does. It actually recharges and re-energizes the air in the workplace or in the room. And that will actually make you feel more awake and more alert and not so tired as the day goes on. You will actually feel more energized because the air is being refreshed. So anion is a negative ion. We are pushing out 24 million negative ions per second from the left and the right hand side of the system. We can't fit that many zeros on there, so we use an equation to show the quantity of ions being produced, negative ions being produced. 24 times 10 to the power of 7, if you put that into Google, you will see that equation is 24 million. So just moving down, fan speed on the left shows the fan speed that is currently selected from 1 to 4. And in the center we have Wi-Fi, so we have a Wi-Fi function, there's a Wi-Fi app which gives you full functionality, and if the Wi-Fi is activated or linked, the Wi-Fi will be displayed. The countdown timer is to the right of that, showing here 2 hours for example as a 2-hour delay before the unit is switched off on the countdown timer. And we then go into the PM particulate matter size readings to tell us how many particles the laser detector is sensing in the air at that time. So we see that PM 2.5, which is the kind of relevant standard, 2.5 being 2.5 millionths of a meter, or 2.5 micrometers, and shown here as micrograms per cubic meter, okay, which is the same reading basically, micrograms per cubic meter. So 2.5 is the industry standard measurement. That's the one that everybody's interested in really, because it's the good average. The display of that one is larger, so we can see that one very, very clearly and simply. It then obviously tells us about the air quality to the right of that, which will be displayed by the colour anyway. And then underneath that size, we've then got on the left PM 1.0. So our systems will actually detect and remove particulate matter down to 1 microgram per cubic meter, or 1 millionth of a meter, which is incredible. And that's because we use medical grade HEPA filters. Okay, so very, very big difference. On the right of that, we have PM10, so that's the larger particulate matter reading. That one might be higher than other particles, because generally there are more slightly larger particles in the air than smaller ones. But the system obviously will filter everything out, so it's really good. So you can see the 3 different sizes there of particulate matter that are being monitored and detected all the time by the laser sensor. Absolutely incredible. And then at the bottom we have the remaining filter time left in hours remaining for the filter use. So now really we come on to looking at the removal rates of all the different particles and bacteria and viruses and formaldehydes, things that smell in the air. The 2.5 removal rate is the industry standard requirement, 99.87 or rounded up 99.9. Many companies only use 1 decimal place, so they round it up to 99.9. And 99.7 that would be for the bacterial removal rate. Smells, VOCs, 99.3, and viruses, which to me this is the most important. The virus test, laboratory test, is certificated at 99.97%, and that's the one that is all important. So 99.97%, almost 100% of viruses are removed by the AirX Pro system, and that's the game changer. That really is very, very high.